Hi, I'm Lindsay Shively.
And we're Screen on the Spot.
You're getting to know me through movies.
Oh, so enthusiastic.
Man.
That was awesome.
Thanks, guys.
They do.
It's
They
like
keep
she
getting
does this
better
for
and
a
better.
living.
Yeah.
It's like she knows how to do a good
Yeah.
intro.
I love movies, and we all talk about movies all the time together, too.
Yeah, that's what I talk to most people about. If you don't like movies, I usually just don't talk to
I
you.
can't.
because
I can't relate
I
to
don't
you.
know what to talk to you about.
You're just that emoji with like the big eyes and the
Yeah.
nose smile where you're just like,
Yep.
I don't know how to talk to these people.
I just watched for Chris Allen's hot takes on Instagram.
He always has those.
I know.
This movie, no.
Although it's really funny because depending on what guest we have on, they totally agree with Chris sometimes. So, like I remember when we had Lindsay Anderson on, and she was like, "Oh yeah, Real Housewives, love it." And
Oh,
she
yeah.
she
Yeah,
loved like
true.
everything that you loved, and you were like, you finally had somebody who
Finally.
agreed with you.
Although Lindsay did give me the best recommendation. Daddy's Home too.
Oh, that's
Christmas
That's a fun movie.
movie.
Never
It's
seen it.
I've seen that. Is that the one with John Lithgow in it?
Yeah.
yes, he's
Yeah.
one of the dads, and Mel
And
Gibson.
the
and
thermostat scene, like
Yes.
where they're like arguing about that. I love that
Instant
scene. That's so
classic.
great.
It's
Yeah.
it's we just watched the first one a couple weeks ago.
yeah.
Not even close to the as good as the second
No,
one.
this is a good point. Taylor won't watch Daddy's Home 2 because he hasn't watched the first one, he said. And I'm like, you don't need to.
No,
Yeah.
you don't.
You really don't.
Right.
It just gives, after seeing the second one than the first one, it gives a little more context to people's relationships.
Yeah.
But
But you can
it's
figure
also
that
two
out.
separate movies. So
Yes.
we watched I'll Be Home for Christmas on Disney Plus last night, and it was still fun.
Wait,
Jonathan
is that
Taylor.
JTT?
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
I don't think I've ever seen
You know
that
he's
movie.
41.
Wait, was this like a recent movie?
No.
No,
Oh,
this
it's
was
like when
back
he was a
in
kid.
the
Probably 20 years old.
90s,
I was
I
like, does he
think.
even act
yeah,
anymore?
when he was, and Jessica Biel
Yeah.
is
Oh, yeah.
in it.
I don't know that one.
Yeah.
I saw that in theaters.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Why?
So well, I was a kid. I don't know. I was a kid.
Remember when it came out?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Jessica Biel.
JTT. And I was a big JTT person. I'm sure you were.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
wasn't? But I never saw that in theaters. That's
From Home
interesting.
Improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, weird.
He was on every Teen Beat and Tiger Beat and
Remember those magazines?
Yeah.
Mom,
He's in
I'm going
everything.
to tape this on my wall.
Yeah.
The paint's fine.
just cut out their
Well,
faces.
and then the end credits, full circle here. The end credits is NSYNC.
Yeah.
Jessica Biel, Justin Timberlake, they're together in real life.
Oh yeah, they're married.
Oh.
Look at that.
Wild.
Wow.
I know. That's a really bad connection, but it
No,
works.
that's I didn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have. I don't know what I'm watching tonight. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. Wow.
But we're
We-
here for Lindsay.
we're here for
Yes.
Yes.
We're here to get to know Lindsay. Thanks for coming on again.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Super exciting. So yes, we have a new format where it's getting to know you through movies, and I don't know. We're going to talk about your top 3 favorites at the end. Do you have those? Because you did not tell us in advance what they are. So I'm very excited to hear what
I
that
kept
is a little
talking to
bit
my
later.
husband Seb about this because it's like, I'm sure for you guys too, it's an impossible question.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
so
it
I've-
changes. If you're
Yes.
me, it changes.
It's more
I
like
change.
If you give me a genre, I'll give you my top 3 for
Yeah.
that anyway. So I've got a working.
Okay, good. I'm excited to hear those. But let's
I'm,
start with some.
I'm glad you talked to Seb though, because Seb has like all the approval in my eyes of what's good and what's not.
There's
so.
not a day that goes by I don't get a text message saying this movie is on sale for $5.99.
He's still buying.
Yes.
He's into the like
Oh,
hard media.
Yeah.
He wants
Yes.
to have the DVD. or
Christmas
yeah,
list
the
is I'd
DVDs.
love. Sorry to like his Christmas. We have owned a digital copy of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles as well as a physical copy for several years. And on his Christmas list is the 4K version because it includes some 75 minutes.
Yeah.
And have you guys seen any? First off, have you guys all seen that movie?
yes.
Yes.
I've seen so many bits and pieces of it, but I don't think I've actually sat and watched the whole thing through.
It's a thing for their family to watch on Thanksgiving. And
Yeah.
it's one of the only Thanksgiving movies.
Yeah, there's
Right.
like very few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good. But like the stuff they cut out makes other parts of the movie make so much more sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
That's a movie that I read, and I think a lot of John Hughes movies are like this, but it was like 3 hours or something, and they had to cut it so much out to get it down to 90 minutes, which is a pretty tight, you
Yeah.
know.
You know what? My favorite film of all time right now is apparently on the list of Thanksgiving
Daddy's Home
movies. No.
Is it Son-in-Law?
Prisoners.
Prisoners?
I've not
It takes
seen that.
place on Thanksgiving, or they're celebrating Thanksgiving.
That's not something you want to.
No, so don't
over
watch
Thanksgiving.
Prisoners as a
No.
Thanksgiving movie. It's not appropriate. But yeah.
We watched
There you go.
Son-in-Law because we watched that a lot as a kid, and that's a Thanksgiving movie. And it's not very good, but
Shore, that-
Pauly Shore.
I love that movie.
Uh,
it's not good.
But we watch it every year and enjoy the heck out of it.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, so Lindsay, you've been the morning anchor here for how many years now?
Gosh, since 2014.
2014.
Been at 41 since 09.
09. And so you started as a reporter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But a
Kansas
lot
City
of time in
native.
the morning. Yes, grew up in Liberty.
Can I admit something to you? Actually, when I first started in production, part-time production assistant, you were doing weekend mornings, maybe, but
Okay.
this would have been in 2013.
Yep.
And I always thought you were so much older than I was. And it's not that I like you looked older. It was like,
It's like, wait a minute. Just
well, no. I don't.
The maturity factor.
It was like a
maybe?
maturity
Yes.
thing because I started and I was 23, I think. But there was just something about the energy you gave off, and I was like, she's probably been here for a long time. Like I just assumed that but you were actually close to my age. I feel like that sounded more insulting than I intended it
No,
to.
I follow you. Thank you.
Okay.
That's
Anyway,
nice.
that's all I got.
So, and I get the opposites where it's like I tell people my age and they're like, "What? You're that old?" So I give off a very immature.
Because you always have the
energy.
best outfits, the best shoes. I was like, where'd you get those boots, Sarah?
She does like my boots.
Although
Every
fine.
time.
I
These actually right now you got
I'm
on.
wearing them. I wear 'em all the time.
not to insult Sarah by any means, but Lindsay probably has a really
Oh,
good
yeah,
shoe game. Your red
100%.
shoes
Yes.
that you wore. I'm
100%.
shocked you're not wearing them right now.
I'm not
Those
very
were
fashionable.
no. You are.
I'm after the pandemic. It's been all downhill. So
Comfort first.
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. You
When
have to.
and like most of the day I'm wearing my Uggs, and I'm just waiting till they come absolutely back in style. I think we're almost there.
Yeah.
Are
Where
they
you
not?
can just wear them.
Well,
I know. I always
who
thought.
cares? I love them.
Yeah.
People aren't wearing them like without like out anymore. You know, like people would wear them to like clubs and like
Yeah.
are like part of your outfit.
Yeah.
People aren't doing that now. Which
They still are
they
part
need
of my
to.
outfit.
You know, in
Yeah.
case our listeners didn't know, we're now a fashion podcast.
Anyway.
so.
Sorry, I keep trying to ask questions
I
about
know, I'm
Lindsay because
sorry.
we're trying to get to know her, and we just get off the rails. Why don't we?
Well,
start
so
with
far,
our
I feel like
questions?
we've learned more about Seb through movies already.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I don't text my wife when I see a movie on sale. I just buy it. Maybe
Yeah.
I should. But usually she just sees, like, what is this? When
Okay.
it comes from
Yeah.
Amazon.
Side question about that: how often, if you have a digital and you have the DVD available, are you actually just putting the digital or the DVD in and watching that? Or is it just
Oh,
is it just
super
for a
rarely.
collection? Yeah, you
trying
just
to think
it's
what-
just part of the collection to have, right?
Yes. Which at first I kind of understood because it seems kind of scary to have this intangible.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, what if the movie I want to watch is not available for me to
Right.
watch?
And we have
Yes.
them on a couple different, like it's split
Yeah.
up between like Movies Anywhere and Vudu, I think, or something like that. But now it's so much easier.
So what ends up happening to us when we do that? It's like, I really want to watch this movie. We search on probably 6 different digital sites, and then it's not there.
Right.
We don't find the physical copy and put it in. We just
Yeah.
find something else.
So-
Buy
That's
it or
funny.
rent it
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
We just find something else.
That's smart.
we
Yeah.
we just got a new TV in our bedroom, and I'm like adamant on buying a Blu-ray player for the bedroom just because
so you
I
can do
want.
that.
Yeah, but I'm like, okay, this is pathetic. Like, who's buying a Blu-ray player in
They're probably
almost
super cheap now.
2023?
I bet they're
know.
$20.
No, they're still like $75.
That's ridiculous.
I don't know.
You can get DVD players for like $20,
Isn't that crazy?
but I know, crazy.
All right, Lindsay, let's have some questions.
It's Lindsay's turn now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Movie question.
Well, what's the first movie you remember seeing in a theater?
Okay, I think it was Little Mermaid.
Oh,
okay.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
And I was probably kindergarten or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I feel like I saw Home Alone in the theater too, but I very distinctly remember Little Mermaid, and McDonald's had the little Happy Meal toys with Little Mermaid.
That's cool.
Did you get
Always
into
one of my
like the
favorites.
Disney movies from that point on? 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
I think I don't remember seeing that in the theater, but I do remember being obsessed with Beauty and the Beast and then the Lion
Aladdin.
King
And they were like
and
all-
Aladdin and
all
having
right in a row?
like needing the cassette tape, like
Oh yeah.
the
like,
soundtrack?
just
Yeah.
being so like the anticipation of like when is that cassette tape gonna come out? Because I really wanted it to listen to on my Walkman.
The soundtrack Walkman.
Wow.
And then like the giant Disney VHS cases,
Yes.
Yeah.
white with the
Oh, yeah.
cover.
Classic
And,
ones. Yeah.
and that was like so exciting to see in your bookshelf. Yeah,
That's awesome. I never saw a lot of those in theaters. I don't think I saw like an animated movie in theaters until I was much older, like
Yeah.
probably when Pixar was going on. So, but we watched those all the time, and Little Mermaid was definitely a favorite.
Yeah. I watch it with my kid now. I'm like, this is kind of scary.
Yeah.
This is intense.
Yeah. My daughters don't like Ursula. They like everything up until Ursula, and then
Yeah.
we either have to fast forward or we just stop it. And we
I
just
always
get-
thought that about Cinderella. Like, was it Cinderella? No, Sleeping Beauty, the witch and sleeping the dragon and the thorns and stuff like.
A lot of them are
Sleeping
very
Beauty is very
intense.
Yeah.
creepy.
Well, yeah, or even Aladdin when Jafar has his big.
Yeah,
thing.
we watched
Yeah.
that. I didn't remember being scared of that.
Me
stuff
neither.
When I was a
I
kid.
know.
Funnily enough, it was Roger Rabbit. That's the one that got me.
Oh, really?
The
Christopher
slime
Lloyd.
and the
Yes.
The ending. That was the one that scared the hell out of me. when I
Me
was a kid.
too.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand a lot of what was happening.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's
That's
surprisingly
fair.
very adult for a kids
Yeah.
movie.
It really is.
Well, we were watching movies we should not have been watching as a kid, and so maybe we were just desensitized, and so things like Little Mermaid didn't scare me.
The other two that did scare me that were kids movies were Jumanji terrified me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
how scary Jumanji
Yeah.
was?
Yeah.
It's intense.
It's really intense. Free Willy, because I am actually
Oh yeah, that was
Oh.
scary.
yeah.
I am actually really afraid of orca whales. I think they're beautiful creatures, and I am amazed by them. But like that scared me.
So we will not see you at SeaWorld anytime
no,
soon.
Yeah.
I want to go on like a whale watching trip. Actually,
That'd be
like,
cool.
in the
Yeah.
ocean. I think
Yeah.
it's super neat.
At least that's a creature that you can avoid pretty easily. It's like,
you would think so.
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Have you seen Jaws?
Well, no, I mean like
At
out
home?
just walking
Yeah.
around. Like
Yes.
I grew up pretty scared of dogs until I was an adult. But dogs are everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody
That's
has a dog.
fair. That's
That's
fair.
a good point.
Nobody has an orca whale.
When I was little, after we watched either Free Willy or I think we ended up going to SeaWorld when I was really tiny, I would like be in the bathtub and then all of a sudden just panic that he was swimming up
Oh,
the pipes
yeah.
to come get me.
That's
Like,
so cool.
That was me in a swimming pool
Yeah.
when I was doing swimming lessons. I
Same.
always thought there was a shark in there.
Mm.
For some reason.
yes.
I always thought a shark would come up like the shower or the bathtub too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even just the pool.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The
So
bathtub.
for
I
me,
feel better. Nobody else
Scary.
has ever told me that.
yeah,
That's a
I was
real
gonna say-
fear that
Yeah.
kids have.
Yeah, well, I mean,
feel
mine was Pennywise because the scene in the
Yeah.
miniseries, he comes through the shower drain, and so for me, it was the shower drain, but it was Pennywise, not orca
Okay,
whale or
how
shark.
old
Right.
were you when you saw that?
Oh gosh,
The TV It.
4. Like
Oh
I was
my
way
gosh.
too young. I should
Yeah.
not have been seeing it. But,
I saw it at a sleepover, and I should not have seen it either.
No.
I was too
Yeah.
little.
yeah.
That's actually
Sorry,
one of our
Mom.
questions. Is
That was my
Right.
next question.
Oh, go
was
ahead.
Yeah.
what is a movie you saw way too young?
Definitely that one.
Yeah.
And probably Roger Rabbit. Honestly, that's a good one. Like,
who?
I've seen
What
that.
sleepovers were playing it like, like as a
I know.
child?
Let's watch this one.
We did Princess Bride. That was the first sleepover movie I remember watching,
What a
which is a
great-
really good one.
Yeah,
but
it
I
is.
didn't know what it was or what was going on. But why? Like,
Well, and then everybody fell asleep.
Who
but
is
me,
this
so I'm
friend?
up by myself watching it. It was horrible.
terrible.
Yeah.
That is a terrible sleepover movie. Did you know it was a scary movie when you went over there?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we're gonna stay up late and watch scary movies.
Right. Right.
Oh.
I think it's a
Always the
sleepover
plan.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, watch movies you're not
My
supposed
sister, she's like 7 years older than me. She had boyfriends over, or boys and girls over, and they were watching it in our basement. And
you
I
were,
remember
like,
I
sitting on-
snuck in because there was like
Yeah,
you
you
can
wanna
go
see what
down
the
the
kids
stairs
are
and kind of
doing.
hide, and I wasn't. And they saw me, and then they were yelled at me and told me to go away because I was too young. But yeah,
That's crazy.
That's-
I watched it with my
Teens.
parents because I don't want to say my parents were irresponsible with our movie choices. They were just funny about like you have to close your ears so you can't hear bad language and you can't see like nudity or something very graphically violent. So if it was coming up and they had seen it before, they would say, "Close your eyes." Okay. But of course we'd peek through the fingers, but still.
But you got to watch the rest of it.
But we'd watch the rest of it.
Okay, what's your favorite movie with some sort of tie to Kansas City? It can be like an actor, a filmmaker reference, or anything.
Probably
like that.
another movie I saw too soon, but this one was with a caveat. You guys, I don't know if they filmed a made-for-TV Stephen King movie here.
What?
oh,
That's
called-
news to Justin.
I didn't know that.
It's called Sometimes They Come Back,
Ooh.
and I was all of 5. I don't know. So Liberty has this really super cool fall festival, and they told everybody they were going to be filming. So the fall festival was busy that year. I mean, it's always
bet.
busy, and you can see, we swear by it. You can see like my neighbors in some of the shots, the B-roll walking through, and then there's the one wide pan where I'm on either my mom or dad's shoulders, and we're always like, "There I am," you know. We had it on VHS forever, but it's a Stephen King.
Sure.
movie
yeah, yeah.
About it's really scary. But
It's
I've
made for TV though.
yes,
Okay.
but just like
Well, a lot of
Yeah.
his was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
Sometimes they come back.
Sometimes they come back. I haven't seen that one, but I didn't know that was filmed out here.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
There's lots of liberty. Like they used the junior high where I went to junior high, which used to be Liberty High School. They used that as the high school, and you'll see like downtown Liberty, and you'll see like other parts of it too. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I assume it's not supposed to be Liberty in the movie though.
No.
It's like some other town.
They just I don't know why they came here to shoot it actually.
Yeah.
I'm glad you gave a really fun, interesting answer rather than like the typical Paul Rudd, Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah. Well, that's the easy
Yeah.
stuff.
It's
Like,
a hard
Yeah.
question because we don't have a lot of stuff here.
Right.
Yeah.
Cough, cough, film incentive.
Well, I thought about
So-
different flowers too.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
Yeah,
Morgan,
Morgan
came here and
Dimmerin,
made. That
yeah.
was that was a good movie. was a really
It was
movie.
good.
Yeah.
Well, here you go. What is a movie that you always defend, no matter how bad people say it is?
Let me see what
Consult the
my notes
note
are.
Yeah.
taking. Note taking.
I know that
I
might
love
have been
that,
one.
and this is a very Lindsay Shively thing: is to take notes, so she can, so she knows what to
Well, it's
reference.
because I mean, movies. There's so many good ones, and I might not have had a good answer for that.
I love that
one.
you did
Sorry.
your homework.
Yeah.
I am overly zealous with my love for Groundhog Day.
Oh.
A
Sure.
lot of
Yeah.
You and Gary Lezak, we had him on, and he would not stop talking about that movie.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
People don't realize how deep it is. It's an existential
it
movie.
really
Yeah.
is.
Totally.
And it's it's funny because obviously he's in TV and all that cracks me up. And we quote it a lot. That's probably one of our major quotable movies. But we have to watch it every Groundhog Day. We do own that in digital and
Nice.
Well,
It's
thankfully,
funny that you watch it on Groundhog Day. Like
to.
I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever watched.
Oh, really?
I
Groundhog Day
know.
on Groundhog Day,
Yeah,
but
I
it's
do.
just always on, so I always watch it. But
it's probably like we do that now because I'm not going to casually see it on TBS
Yeah.
or like
Right.
Channel 14
Yeah.
or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when's the
that's a good
last time?
point.
It was always like every year on TBS, I feel like.
Yeah.
we just don't have cable anymore, so we
Same.
don't
Yeah.
ever catch
Yeah.
that stuff. But
it's definitely one of those movies that I will watch throughout the year, but I still like to watch it on Groundhog Day. It's like Beetlejuice isn't a Halloween movie, and so I watch it a lot throughout the year, but we still watch it at Halloween also.
Mm-hmm.
I love this Beetlejuice prop on your
Yeah.
table. I was like, where did you get that?
That was a gift from my parents.
That
Thanks,
is
Mom.
amazing. That is amazing. And I think too, I watch it in January because you have watched Christmas Vacation 37 times.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? So it's like
Right.
this is the next. It feels like refreshing but still wintry.
that's a good one.
This may be a hot take about Christmas
Oh, no.
Vacation, but I grew up watching Christmas Vacation
Yes.
and never seen Christmas Story until maybe like 3 years
Oh.
ago. And I think Christmas Story is like a far better made
Oh,
film than
I thought you were going to say the
Christmas
opposite.
Vacation.
I was surprised.
No.
Well, let's move on.
Justin's tired
both
of
of them.
Yeah.
I actually haven't watched Christmas Story in years. My wife and I were just talking about it because the sequel just came out,
Yeah.
and we were like,
Oh, is
man,
it out?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
on HBO Max.
Yeah, it's on HBO. It's fun. I like
We
it.
haven't
Yeah.
watched it yet. We were like, we haven't even watched the original in a few years because
That
So-
was my Grammy's favorite movie. She loved it.
yeah,
And I thought it's so funny because she was very reserved, and there's like the dad,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
it just cracks
Yeah.
me up.
yeah. No, that is a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Who's next? Who asked the last one? Did you
I
ask
did.
last
Oh,
one?
she
Okay.
yeah.
Not that we have to go in order, but
Is there
Good
is
one.
there a movie character or movie that you can relate to the most?
This is another one like different situations, different people, different times of life too.
Sure. Well, it's okay. Like I always say, Superbad is the one I'm most related to, but that was that came out in 2007, the year I graduated high school, so it was a very specific time, and that's why like I don't relate to it now, but I
Right.
related to it a lot then.
Mm-hmm.
Were you Michael Cera?
Yes, very much so, Michael Cera. Or maybe like a dash of Fogel.
Yeah. Wow.
that's funny. Okay, no answer for that
I don't
one.
think so. Every '90s rom com, I picture myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm good with
She,
that.
she's all that. Are
I
you
never
are you a
watched that
lady?
one a lot.
You never.
I've seen it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But that was not in my like.
A-
I
a
was
lady
much more
box?
like
Like
10
Clueless?
Things I Hate About You and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a good
I was just gonna pick one for you and say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
because of April.
because of April O'Neil.
I love the cartoon.
What movie has made you laugh the most?
Oh gosh, Daddy's Home too. No, I'm kidding. Groundhog Day.
I was gonna say, is it Groundhog Day?
Yeah.
Then that's okay if it's a Groundhog
Yeah.
Day.
that
It's
sarcasm,
hysterical.
like sarcasm, hits hard in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's so funny.
and it never gets old. Like the humor has continued to age pretty well. Like
I feel like
Yes.
since we've talked about this the last couple podcasts so much, like that may have to be in my top 5 now. Like
Groundhog
Oh,
Day.
that's a
I always loved it. I've always loved it and quoted it so much.
Yeah.
But just like talking about it now, it just makes me realize how great it is because of what you were saying earlier about like how deep and existential it is. But like it is a funny comedy.
Yeah.
Bill Murray's in it. Like there's just everything about that movie hits. And
Totally.
There's nothing bad about that movie.
Pretty timeless. I don't know if it's because it's like Christmas time right now, but like that and Christmas Vacation are our two most quoted year round. Like, why is the carpet wet, Todd? You
I
serious,
don't know,
Clark?
Margo.
Like all that stuff. And then like Bill Murray's, is there a line for celebrities? I'm both. I'm a celebrity in an emergency. So,
Of all the quotes, that's
that's
or my dad will always say, morons, your bus is leaving. So many good ones.
What is your favorite sports movie?
Okay, this question I love because for me it is all 80s to 90s baseball movies because
Sure.
I think you guys know I love baseball. And Seb and I were talking about that. I was like, I think one of the reasons why is this amazing long string of baseball movies when we were growing up.
Yeah.
Field of Dreams,
Uh-huh.
Rookie of the Year,
Oh yeah.
which
Yes.
is fantastic
Hey, bada,
still.
bada, bada, bada.
Angels in the Outfield.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Joseph
Bull
Gordon-Levitt.
Durham.
Yeah.
I mean, and like this huge range of like really deep movies, to,
Yeah.
like just funny movies, and yeah,
Major League.
Major League.
Major League.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, baseball was really hot back then. What
Yeah.
It
happened?
was.
And such good movies.
I know.
Such
Yeah.
good
They are really good
movies.
movies.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't gotten one in a long time, and maybe there's one that I'm not thinking of.
Moneyball.
That
I
was-
feel like
Moneyball.
was the
I love
last
Moneyball.
one,
years
but yeah.
ago.
Was it really?
God,
I will
crazy.
routinely
Yeah,
put
it
that
was
on
like
as
10
like
years
a
ago.
background movie. Do you guys do that? When you
Oh,
guys watch it?
yeah.
absolutely.
That's one of my background movies is
Yeah.
Moneyball because I just and my husband always laughs at how like every time you see Brad Pitt, he's eating something.
Yeah,
In every
it's like
movie.
Ocean's
I didn't
11
even
movies.
notice
Yeah,
Yeah, and Moneyball too.
Yeah.
He's having like a giant.
I never noticed that in
sandwich.
Moneyball, but I knew that was an Ocean's series.
Yeah.
Oh,
thing
yeah.
that, like he made his character do. So
Uh-huh.
that's funny.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's what I would do if I was starting a movie.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
yeah.
give me
Eat a lot
all
of
the food.
all the free
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
Well, you'd
Yeah.
probably gain a lot of weight if you did that.
That's
then.
true. That's
Probably
true.
Well,
But
he-
I don't
he's
look
Brad
like Brad Pitt.
If you,
Yeah.
if you needed 10 takes. Even Brad Pitt's got
What?
genes and metabolism.
Jenna Fisher did like an Instagram video about this once about how they do it when you have to eat. She like sticks an almond right behind the bite, and she chews the almond and not. the
Oh,
prop
weird.
food.
That's
So
crazy.
then she said 10 almonds instead of
Yeah.
the whole sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh.
People, I think it's on Justin Long's podcast, has talked about they have spit buckets. So for a take,
Yeah.
they'll chew, and then when the take
Spit.
is done, they'll spit it out. They just never swallow the food.
Because eventually you'll just be so full you
Yeah.
can't do
Right.
it.
I kept thinking about Elf when
Oh,
Will Ferrell's
he
eating
actually
like.
did eat that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's so gross. I can't imagine.
He talks about
With,
that.
no, with the pasta
And the
with
syrup.
the syrup,
And the Pop-Tart.
the Pop-Tart and everything.
And he
I was like,
actually
oh
did eat
my
that.
gosh.
Like I remember seeing some interview about that where he's like he threw up like majorly after all because he was like actually eating this stuff so many times.
Yikes.
Talk about a
Disgusting.
great movie.
So good.
Mm.
We haven't watched it yet for the holidays.
Yeah?
My kids have been really into the Santa Claus movies.
Have they?
Yeah, so into
Which I still love.
Have you? Has anybody started the series on Disney
No.
Plus?
No,
Don't.
we probably
Really?
won't.
We shut it off after 10 minutes. And
That's
this
not
is-
very much to really get a fair opinion, Chris.
Okay, it was maybe 15 minutes. I don't know. No, actually, we finished. think they're only 20 some minutes. I think we like finished the first one and then we said nope, no more.
Well,
But then we turned on
was
Hallmark
it just
and
like
Lifetime.
was it
so.
too cheesy for you? Because that's really
Yes,
hard to
it
do.
was actually really. I thought it was terrible. Like the dialogue
Okay.
and everything, and I thought there was something wrong with his face.
Yeah.
Like as Santa, it wasn't like no, he's gotten older.
Yeah.
But he just. It's like, why can't you make him look the same as he did in the 90s?
30 years ago.
It's
'Cause
no,
he's
it's the same way with the first
aging.
one and the reindeer. The first, the second one, the reindeer were like looked real. They were like,
Oh.
and then the second one, it's like,
yeah.
like.
Well, they went. They
they're all
CGI
more
maybe?
Yeah.
more kid friendly. I think they were just steering into the.
more kid friendly.
Yeah.
It looks fake. Don't
This
even
is
get
like,
me started.
Make it more friendly for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's parts of the second one that are good.
Just
But
I'm
then the
still
third
on
one-
the you thought that was too cheesy, but then you started on the
I mean, I think there's something about when you know you're getting into something that's cheesy.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can forgive this. But
Right.
something that's trying
well,
too
you know,
hard.
a Hallmark movie is going to be bad. You expected Santa Claus to be good, like the old
Yes.
ones. I get it. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
You had
Thank you.
bad expectations
Yes.
for that. Okay.
Okay. Well, I did watch Violent Night. That has Santa Claus.
Is
It's
that
really.
with David Harbour?
Yeah, it's really fun.
It is?
It's really fun. It's so cheap. There's
love
it's so cheesy.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's thank God for David Harbour. But there's a lot of really terrible one-liners in that movie that are kind of cringy but hilarious.
Okay.
And David Harbour gets a fair chunk. Although John Leguizamo, who I love, so many bad lines of dialogue. But the movie's really fun.
Okay.
So it's a good recommendation.
What's your favorite movie soundtrack?
Okay. Sound of Music. I think.
Oh.
Good one.
I when I was thinking about that, I was like, ooh, that's kind of up there. Yeah.
I know, right?
Mhm.
And that's also one of my all times. That's one of my top
Yep.
3, just because my dad loved it so much. We've watched it my whole life, and my grandparents love it. And Julie Andrews is a queen.
A treasure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I just hope they never even attempt to remake it.
They should. Didn't they do like a TV thing?
Carrie Underwood, it was
That's
terrible. I
right.
was thinking
Oh,
about
yeah.
that today.
It's so
never
hard to
watched
do
it.
the live TV.
Yeah.
shows they
It
do.
is.
Yeah.
But that wasn't
that
trying
was
to
the wrong
remake it.
casting too.
Mm-hmm.
I just love that movie. Everything
Yeah.
about it.
Like
It is really good.
they went obviously for a good singer, but didn't
Yeah.
consider that like Maria has to also act.
Oh,
so
Right.
Well, and I think when they do those live versions of those, there's just in theater live awkward pauses that aren't awkward,
Yeah.
but then on TV they're awkward.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
You know,
Yeah.
and I don't know how they can get
Yeah.
past that.
It's at least a good way if you're gonna sort of remake something to do it in that sort of format versus like let's just do another movie. You know.
No,
So-
yeah. Leave it alone.
That
It's
would be
perfect.
Yeah.
terrible. I am with you 100% if they ever tried to touch that and remake it in some
Yeah.
way. But they will, and it's going to be.
Is there one song you skip every time like me?
However,
What's the song you skip?
Climb every mountain. Don't need it.
Yeah.
Climb.
Honestly, Edelweiss kind of
Really?
I skip over that sometimes.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
just
That's
like-
one we like
get
tend
on
to
with
quote
it,
in our
Christopher.
household a lot. Is Edelweiss.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It is very long.
I love
so.
Lonely
yes.
Goat Herd though. I was singing that to Mia the other day. It's very cute.
That's a good one to have on
Yeah.
that the kid can be in the
Yeah,
room.
it's
That's
very
probably
fun.
that's my
Yeah.
new like right new filter in which I watch things.
Totally.
I will say though,
Yeah.
I had that attitude about the new West Side Story with Steven Spielberg. I don't know if you'd seen that, and I was like, "Do not touch West Side Story," because that to me is almost up there with Sound of Music.
Excellent.
And I loved the new.
I need to
West
watch it.
Side
I haven't
Story.
seen it.
And I was very against the remake and very angry and just like I'm gonna hate this, and I liked it a
As
lot.
far as soundtracks, that could be
So,
right up there too.
Yeah, it's
No
great.
coincidence, Broadway shows that are
Yeah.
just epic.
Mhm.
But they
Epic.
also casted it correctly, so
Yeah.
makes a difference.
Mhm.
Is there a movie that always makes you cry?
Okay, I have a long list of this.
I'm ready.
You're
I
a
wrote
crier.
this down. And I will say, if I know something's going to be, I'm not one to go for the cry or for the sad movie. I'll probably purposely avoid it, actually. Like, I will never watch Marley and Me. Don't care.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Not
Yeah,
even going. If
don't.
there's a dog in the poster, probably not going to watch the
Yeah.
movie. You know what I mean?
Santa
Right,
Paws is a
right.
no.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Santa Paws. Faye's been trying to watch that.
Not even Air Bud?
No. But most of them are kids' movies
Yeah.
because, and then they end up getting, I mean, Bluey. If you've ever
Oh,
watched, that's not a
Bluey.
movie, but that makes me cry. Okay. Up, obviously. Always makes me cry. Coco. Always makes me cry.
Coco. So
Klaus.
good.
Have you guys watched Klaus?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
really
That's a
want
great
to.
movie
It is
too.
really
So
good.
good.
Mhm.
And here I am in my living room going,
Yeah.
you know, but then grown up movies, Selena,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
which is worth the ride, even though I know I'm just going to be broken.
Bawling
at
at
the
the
end.
Yeah.
And you know it's coming, but it gets you every time. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Still Magnolias is the same.
Oh, yeah.
gosh, yeah. That
Oh,
one's
man.
a
And I think it's that one is because there's so many moments of levity and heart and really good writing and ridiculousness that also make that devastating ending.
the acting is what to me just I mean Sally Field's character in that movie, the way
Yes.
she handles all that is
All of it.
just you can feel it.
This is the movie character I relate to. I am Weezer.
There you go.
Weezer,
Yeah. I'm not
here,
mad.
slap
I'm
her.
not- I've been in a bad mood. She cracks me up. That's a good one.
What's a movie that you are, or maybe if you've already done it, were most excited to show your daughter?
Elf was a good one.
Yeah.
Elf was a really big one. And Sound of
that's
Music.
so cute.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did show that to her?
Oh yeah. And now we like sing them together.
Yeah.
Oh, and we just watched it's funny, like the older she gets, she's 4. So she's just now starting to pick up on these things. And we watched White Christmas this week too.
Oh, awesome.
And now she wants to get up and do all the dance numbers
Oh,
together.
yeah.
It's just
Oh,
the
nice.
best. So fun. So we did the sisters dance together this week.
I love that she's
Yeah.
4 and she will sit through that stuff though and just like really enjoy it and want to dance to
Well,
it.
we try to
and,
do
like,
other
that's
stuff,
cute.
you know,
Yeah.
but she'll like be focused
Yeah.
in while we're playing with our Bluey figurine.
That's so special to be able to show your. We've had this about
Yeah.
Ghostbusters, and Justin's kids didn't want to sit through it, but just to show them something that you have loved your whole life, and
Yeah.
like then, getting able to show it to them for the first time.
Really fun, especially with Christmas movies. And this is the first year she's old enough to kind of get it, and we're kind of going through. This present is for someone else. You know?
Oh, yeah.
You guys appreciate this. Okay, people at home, if you are from here, remember the Small Mall. Did you ever go to the Small Mall?
Mm-mm.
It was in the Northland. There might have been another one, but it was in Antioch shopping center. And next to the train and the Santa, when we went to see Santa, there was like this ski chalet that was all of 5 foot tall. And inside, kids could go in and buy little trinket presents for their family to open on Christmas from them for like pennies on the dollar.
I remember you talking about this for a promo once. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I loved that. Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
And they would like help you wrap it and write the names on it. Liberty girls basketball team did a fundraiser, small mall basically, at the high school this weekend. I didn't explain it very well to Svea,
Right.
who's 4 and had a helper, and we wrote this list for her, and she bought all these presents and wrapped them up, and it says, Daddy, Papa, Graham, and then we put them under the tree that night, and she shakes one of them. She goes, Mommy, I'll tell you a secret. These are Legos for me.
Presents for herself.
Oh, and
Oh my
$5,
gosh.
which gift it was, the one that said To Mom.
She got Legos for
Wow.
I go,
herself.
but it says Mom. And she goes, but it says Faya too. I say, yes, it says from Faya. Never mind. Lego's
Yeah.
great. I'm so happy
Oh
for
my
you.
god.
That's so funny.
So what you
Next
should
year.
do is open the gift and be like, no, these are mommy's.
Oh no,
Yeah.
we already opened it. Don't worry.
Already did.
That lasted a whole hour.
That's
and
so
the rest of
funny.
them are all safe under the tree. And so it's so precious.
Smart kid.
Figuring stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't tell my 3-year-old, like on birthdays or holidays or whatever, she can't know what the gift is for a person because she'll just tell you. So, like, if she was with, for my birthday, they wrapped up like a shirt for together. And immediately Elliot ran down the stairs and was like, we got you a shirt. Thanks, Elliot.
So excited to have information
Yeah.
to share.
Yeah.
That's cute.
What was the last new movie that you watched?
Spirited.
Oh,
Yes.
so
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Loved
Yeah, it
it.
was
Yeah.
so good.
That's really good.
I like surprisingly fresh take.
Yes.
And I loved I thought the musical part, I loved the songs. Was it Seb thought it was the Greatest Showman music writers.
Yep.
Is that
And La La Land.
you can tell
and-
the
yeah.
songs are so good.
Yeah.
And self-deprecating, which I think made it
Yeah.
better,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I like that line about the pandemic where he's like, spreads like the okay, maybe not the pandemic or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, there were so many moments in that too.
This is side comment or whatever you call it, but related to that, I got the vinyl for Spirited. I turn it over. It's side A is one song, side B is a second song.
So it's not all the songs, it's just
It's
two
not
songs?
all the songs.
Oh.
And so I returned it, but I'm so upset because I love the music from Spirited.
Yeah.
And they released the vinyl with 2 songs.
Wow.
Did
From
you
the-
just get
Movie
like an
vinyls you
accidental
have.
like
No,
special
like that's how it
thing,
was
or-
made because I
Oh, that's
like
weird.
told them
Huh.
and they changed the thing on the website and said, "Oh, it's only 2 songs."
Oh,
And
that's
That's
dumb.
crazy.
I'm like, that's such because I'm like,
Did
La
you
La
call and
Land,
complain on Twitter?
I did. No, I didn't. Yeah, Sarah says I'm a Karen, but not a Karen.
Yeah.
I
You have Karen tendencies.
I'm a Marin.
You lean towards Karen sometimes.
I
So-
love that you have the vinyls though. I think that's
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah.
Like Halloween.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, but the music
It
on your
forces you
point.
to listen to everything. It's
It does.
skipping.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
or just 2 songs from the movie that has like 14 great songs.
Yeah.
But
Was Good Afternoon not one of the songs? that was on?
no,
That's
Oh,
a
man.
great
I think it
That's
was
so good.
Octavia Spencer's song,
Mhm.
and then maybe the ending. And
I can
I'm
see
like,
them turning that into a stage musical soon. Like
Yes.
I'm
for
pretty
sure.
sure that's
Yeah.
going to be.
I loved her in it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
we
so
were
good.
talking about this because Good Afternoon is hilarious. Like how things become like less and less intense over
Yeah.
time.
Wait, do you think that was true?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Well,
well, maybe,
but
it
in
was.
general,
I wonder,
right?
But
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
Except for the thumbs up in text messages. Someone has to explain this to me.
What?
This is like offensive if
Is
you
it?
text a
it's not-
thumbs up.
In
What?
some countries, I think.
No, I mean just like with younger kids here,
Oh.
kids, adults.
Okay,
you
so
know?
like that's an actual thing. Like,
it's more just like, whoa, what's wrong? And to me, I just send a
Oh.
thumbs up as like, got it.
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
that
same.
has
That's how I
changed
use it.
in meaning to like this younger generation, is what you're saying.
Good. Yes.
What is it, like
Oh.
sarcasm? If you give a thumbs up, it means like,
Or like kind of aggressive maybe, or kind
Wow.
of like just like,
Wow.
all right, you know, I know.
but a
I
thumbs,
would
it's
have
just,
never.
that's
thought that.
crazy.
I do it all the time. That's like how I
Yeah.
reply
Yeah.
to most text
Yeah.
messages.
How are they going to respond when somebody gives a movie review as 2 thumbs up?
Yeah,
Yeah, seriously.
it was absolutely.
Well, that's
crap.
why they use 2 and not 1.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I'd never heard. That's the
I
first
use
time I'm
thumbs up
hearing
a lot.
that.
We talk. I mean, Taylor and I use thumbs up all
Yeah.
the time,
Yeah.
but everybody else is like, yeah, it's kind of intense.
So if you
Oh, yeah.
ever text me a thumbs up, I'm gonna say "Good afternoon,"
Exactly.
all caps or
Now
something.
I'm very curious to know if like "Good Afternoon" back then actually
Yeah.
was offensive or if they just made that up for the movie. We'll have
It
to
was a
look that
great
up later.
song.
Well,
Yeah.
my favorite part, spoiler, so skip 30 seconds, is the guy in the elf costume, and Will Ferrell's
Yeah.
like, you look so
so
stupid.
funny.
You look silly.
So funny.
Okay, and I won't say, but the end surprised me, even though it made perfect sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Well, no,
Which I
knew-
think it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Right?
good.
Good movie. Well
Yeah.
made.
It was
Very-
fun.
Very again surprised, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
pleased with that.
We had to renew Apple Plus just so we could watch it again
Oh,
because
Yeah.
it's just so good.
Yeah.
it is good.
I loved his GQ Santa outfit.
Yeah. With the leather
Hilarious.
jacket. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was funny. What's a movie people give you the most grief for not seeing?
Oh,
All the Harry Potter movies.
you've not seen all the Harry Potter movies?
Wow.
Oh, I reacted strongly. I'm really
Yeah.
sorry.
I know.
I always react very strongly to
I've
those.
not really
Yeah.
read. I've not read any of the books. I think I was
That-
just in
that
that,
hurts me more.
in between age.
Yeah.
where, and
I was in high
10
school.
years.
We're the same.
And I love like Twilight. I watch those anytime they're on. I've sent them on Netflix and be like, oh no, I gotta watch it.
Team Edward, Team what's the other? Jacob.
I don't even remember. I just remember being in love with those. I read all those books. I read all Hunger Games. Like I like that kind of stuff. But I just never got into Harry Potter.
I mean, I was the older. I borrowed the first time I read the books. I borrowed them from my friend's elementary school sister.
I love
like
it.
that's how embarrassing it was in high school. But all my high school friends were like starting to read it too.
Oh,
So
yeah. I know they're good, and I've like tried to watch them now, and I think it's just too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the Star Wars.
you're past the
Ewok
point.
line.
Well, the
Yeah.
first,
Yes.
Right.
the first two especially, I still like them for nostalgia, but they are so kid friendly
Yeah, they're not good
compared to the
movies.
rest. They get more adult as they go.
like Stranger Things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So like, I guess if you try to rewatch them, if you can get through the first two,
Yeah.
then I think things might turn around. But
I mean, I honestly don't think the movies get good until 5 or 6.
oh, really? I think the third one's the best.
The third one definitely takes the turn and is good.
Yeah.
But like
Okay.
just the darker it gets, the more, because you're an adult now, so
Interesting.
you're like, this is
Mhm.
an adult movie.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
feel
Man.
silly watching it, but yeah,
That was a
I
good
like
one,
the
wasn't
third.
it?
No, you're
Yeah.
like 1 and 2. You're 100% right.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
for me, it's just like the further along they get, the more I do enjoy them.
Yeah.
But you would love the books.
Well,
too,
I give
think.
people grief when they haven't seen all the Star Wars.
Yeah.
On the flip side of
Mhm.
that, because I love them.
you know, everybody has holes, and you have a Harry Potter sized hole.
Yeah.
That,
Ouch.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
we try to. I try to not react strongly when people, because I have a lot of movies I haven't seen before that I know I need to see. But
Sure.
when it's something that's like a nostalgic too, and then it's like, what? Because that's even with Ghostbusters, something I had to get over was just because it was important in my household does not mean it was important for
Yeah.
everybody.
And Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is one that I'm always blown away people haven't seen.
I've never seen it, so there you go.
I know.
I mean, I
I
know.
just know it from Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Oh my, chitty chitty
Yeah.
bang bang.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a great movie.
I know it, and I will make a reference to it, and my wife gets really annoyed. She's like, "Justin, you haven't even seen that movie." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I know."
This isn't on our question list, but what would you say is your favorite genre? You're musicals,
Well,
probably,
not all
right?
musicals,
Not
though,
always.
right?
Okay.
I don't know. That's really hard to say. Christmas movies. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? Historical, like based, like Apollo 13 is one of my top.
It's a great one.
We watch that over and over again. So a really well-made movie about something that really happened is probably
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That's an
Which makes
underrated.
sense for
That's
what
an
I do.
underrated
Yeah.
love of genre. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
I don't even know
right on
what
board
that
with that
genre
too.
would be called,
That
right? But
Historical,
well, and that's kind of why I love Sound of
Drama,
Music
yeah.
too. Is that that's you know
based on a true story.
yeah
Which we had no idea what it was about when we were kids, but
right.
now it's like, oh,
Right.
okay.
Another movie that you watch and like gets deeper and deeper the
Yeah.
older you
Yeah.
are, the more you know. Yeah.
So, what's a couple of movies? We didn't get these in advance, so if you don't have
Okay.
an answer, that's okay. But what are some movies that you are like most important to you,
Gosh, most important to me?
or favorites?
Yeah, it would probably be Apollo 13, Groundhog Day, and Sound of Music.
Okay.
I'll try to go with
No,
that.
those are good.
I think 90s were such like a pivotal time of movie watching for me because I was, 6 to 16. So
hmm
how old was I? Wait a second. How old am I?
Math is not my strong point.
Yeah.
Even basic math is not my strong point. So
Yeah, 6 to 16. So that was my like very the rom-coms in the 90s, baseball
Totally.
movies of the 90s, Wayne's World.
Love Wayne's World.
That epically hilarious.
the gun. rack.
And then think about all this
What am I
stuff that
gonna
came
do with a gun rack?
I don't
Don't even have a gun, let alone enough to necessitate a rack.
Yeah.
That's like, man, really sad. There's so many. That's highly quoted in our house. Forrest Gump, Gladiator,
Just watched Forrest Gump the other day.
so good.
So good.
I
Jurassic Park.
love the Jurassic Park's one of my top threes that'll probably never change.
I took that in and out of my top 5. Trying
Yeah.
to
Okay,
get ready for
Apollo
this.
13 you've talked about. We didn't really get into it. What is it about Apollo 13? That
I love
just makes
space.
it-
I
And
love
I'm
baseball.
I
and
love a space movie.
Yes.
Any space movie. Throw
Absolutely.
any if it's in space, I'm gonna love
Gravity.
Interstellar.
Yeah. Oh,
Gravity.
my God,
Gravity.
yeah.
May-
That was
disaster
so
movies I
sad.
can't watch.
Yeah.
Does that, yeah.
mhm.
Again,
was gonna
that's
say that.
that's not an escape for me. I'm just worried about her the whole time.
Did
Yep,
you ever see that in
anxiety.
theaters? Gravity.
No, because I knew.
That was
hard
the
to
one
watch.
movie I
It's
think that I
beautiful.
can remember that I felt like when I got out of my seat that I was like walking strange because you went on that journey and then you're like, because then she gets her feet on the ground.
Yeah,
and
it has a
you're
happy ending
like,
if that
you feel,
helps.
yeah, you're like,
It does.
Whoa,
Okay, maybe I need
crazy.
to watch it. Interstellar is one of my
I
favorite.
love
Interstellar.
I still
Interstellar.
haven't watched.
The
Talk about a
Martian.
soundtrack.
Love The Martian.
Oh yeah,
I
I
just-
do too.
I just rewatched The Martian.
Contact.
Still great.
Love Contact.
I do too.
Watch that all the time. Yeah.
Contact's underrated.
Yeah, it is.
Never. I actually didn't watch Apollo 13 for the first time until 2 years ago.
Mm.
It was just one of those that I missed for some reason as a kid.
Yeah.
They didn't show that to you, and I feel like that was the number one
I
movie
think
they showed in school.
maybe we
growing
saw-
up.
Never show it in
Was
school.
Apollo
We didn't
13.
see that in school.
We didn't either.
Yeah.
That was
Really?
no. That's a
No,
hard.
Dan-
neat.
All the details in that movie that are true about how it's just incredible. We watch that all the time.
Did you have to like go back and research Apollo 13 after you saw it, or
So
is that something that you do after you watch movies?
that
are true?
Yeah, I get into that definitely. But like somebody had given me Apollo 11, the book to read that I think was written by Lovell. Yeah. About the thing he went on before then. And just like all the details about how the astronauts came about and how many of them were pilots and just like living in Houston and da-da-da-da-da. And I read that book long after I'd watched Apollo 13 a million times, and that just made it so much richer.
That's cool.
And like mission control and how they sit in for other missions waiting their turn and just all the...
Have you seen For All Mankind on Apple TV?
I've watched some of it. Wait,
Okay.
not The Right Stuff, For All Mankind.
For All Mankind, not Right Stuff.
For All Mankind
is. Go ahead.
I was just say it's like the alternate history one, right?
Yes.
Where is it Russia lands before
Right, yeah.
U.S.?
It's a new
No.
take on like the space race. So it starts, but it jumps decades, every decade. So the first season is, the space race. And instead of, it's like a reimagined. So instead of the U.S. landing first, Russia does. And then it like takes you through this whole story. You would love it.
Okay, I
Yeah,
need to watch
it's
it.
Great.
For All Mankind.
Great TV. Yep.
Well, Lindsay, thanks so much for coming on
Yeah.
and talking to us
Yeah.
about
Guys,
movies.
this
Great
is
answers.
Great. Oh, thanks. I took notes.
And
so many good movies.
maybe watch Harry Potter.
Have you watched Daddy's Home 2 yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say,
Should we
I'm
like-
gonna,
Bang, bang. I
I'm
will
gonna
watch
say,
that.
read the books first.
I don't know that that's a fair trade-off to like one movie compared to like 9 or
Yeah.
Is
whatever.
there one
it is.
Harry Potter movie that's later that I can watch without having seen?
No, you got to watch
Just
all
read
of
the
them.
books. You'll love them.
Who has time
Yeah,
to read
exactly.
all those books?
You know what?
Exactly.
Maybe wait a few years. Maybe
It could
Svea will
take a
be into
while.
it.
Yeah.
Then
It could
maybe
take
you
a
can
while.
watch it and experience it with Svea. And then it'll
By that point,
Maybe
they
that's
would have,
Audiobooks on your drive to work, maybe? I don't know.
and then they'll probably remake them
I'm
all.
too busy
in
listening
10
to Jen
years,
Yeah.
Blossoms
so.
and Goo Goo Dolls.
90s. Love it.
Google.
Sister Hazel.
2000. All right.
All right.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Guys,